are these people? And the narrator says, وَفِينَا Salman al-Farsi. He said that Salman al-Farsi radiallahu ta'ala was amongst them in the audience. And what did Rasulullah do? The narrator says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam put his two hands on the shoulder of Salman al-Farsi radiallahu ta'ala, and also another riwayah says he put his hand on the chest of Salman al-Farsi radiallahu ta'ala. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said to the Sahaba, لو كان الإيمان عند ثريا, that if Iman was in the Thuraya star, لَنَالَهُ رَجُلٌ أَوْ قَالَ رِجَالٌ مِنْ هَؤُلَاء وَفِي رِوَايَةٍ مِنْ أُبْنَ يُفَارِسِ. Subhanallah. Prophet ﷺ said that if Iman was in the Thuraya star, meaning a star which is so far away that nobody can even imagine, if the star was so far away, if Iman was in that star, he said, then still a man would arise from the descendants of Salman al-Farsi, from the lineage of Salman al-Farsi, from the progeny of Salman al-Farsi, from his descendants, his disciples, and he will be Persian of origin. And Jalaluddin as-Suyuti rahmatullah alayhi mentions in Tabi' al-Sahifa, and he is a scholar who's an all-round master, memorizing 400,000 hadith by his heart. By memory, he's memorized 400,000 hadith. He mentions in Tabi' al-Sahifa, and Ibn Hajar Al-Makki mentions in Al-Khayrat al-Hisan that this hadith that the Prophet ﷺ is talking about is referring to none other than Imam al-A'zam Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi. So Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi is mentioned in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and is ishara from the Quran talking about him. So fantastic. MashaAllah, Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi is such a great man. The fact that he's so maqbool in the eyes of Allah and His Messenger. Over 100 million Muslims are following his fiqh in Bangladesh. Over 100 million Muslims are following his fiqh in Pakistan. 100 million Muslims are following his fiqh in India. All the Muslims of Afghanistan are following his fiqh. All the Muslims of Turkey are following his fiqh. The Muslims of Bosnia are following his fiqh. The Muslims of China are following his fiqh. The Muslims of Russia are following his fiqh. The Muslims of Uzbekistan are following his fiqh. The Muslims of Kazakhstan are following his fiqh. The Muslims of Asham are following his fiqh. There's not a single Muslim country in the world today where there are not people who are following the fiqh of Imam A'zam Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi. Over half of the ummah are following the fiqh of Imam al-A'zam al-Mukh al-Ilm, the brain of knowledge, Imam Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi. He was maqbool in the eyes of Allah and His Messenger. He was accepted in the eyes of Allah and His Messenger. Subhanallah. But then again the question is, okay, fantastic, 100 million Muslims are following the fiqh of Imam Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi in all over the world. Okay, wow, fantastic, everyone's following them. But are they really following them is the question. Because one of the biggest incidents which makes Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi's position stand out from the ulama is his accounting of the rulers of his time. You have many, unfortunately, ulama of today who claim to be following the fiqh of Imam A'zam Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi, but by Allah Azza wa Jal, whose hand my soul is in today, they are not following them at all. And I say this, wallahi azim, I say this 100% conviction, they are what you call your armchair ulama. When when tyrant rulers of today, the likes of Hosni Mubarak of Egypt, who kills, boils, tortures Muslims worldwide, not a single ulama of the Ahnaf will stand up and dare account him like Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi did. Not a single one of these scholars would do this. And they claim to be following the fiqh of Imam A'zam Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi. No way. Do not doubt for a single second that these so-called ulama are following the fiqh of Imam A'zam Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi in its entirety. Why? Because ulama such as Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah mentions in Hasbatul Islam, page 63 I believe, he mentions that enjoining the good, amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar, is a fard on every single person. It is a fard on every single person. And Allah Azza wa Jalla says it many, many times in the Quran. He says, كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٌ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. That you are the greatest nation ever risen for mankind. Why? Why are you the greatest nation? Because you enjoin what is good and you forbid what is evil and you believe in Allah. Now again in the Quran, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ. Let there arise from amongst you a group of people who calls to the good. وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. What does it mean? Let there arise from amongst you a group of people who call to the khair, who call to Islam. And Al-Tabari mentions in this, Ibn Kathir's tafsir of this ayah means that يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ, calling towards the good is what? Is calling towards the Sharia. calling towards the system of Islam. And it says, وَيَأْمُرُ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ, enjoying the good and forbidding evil, and they are those who have attained falah. They are those who have attained success in the eyes of Allah and His Messenger. And we know one of the indicators to suggest that something is a fard, one of the indicators to suggest that something is a fard from Allah is that the fact that it's got a high reward in it. Number one. Number two, another thing is that there's a severe punishment if you don't do it. And wallahi, the hadith related by Hudayfa radiallahu ta'ala an, Shaykh Albani mentions this as Hasan, and other scholars mentions it as Sahih. The hadith where Rasulullah said that by Allah, whose hand my soul is in, if you see a munkar, present, you can see it. Man ra'a munkar from you. If you see a munkar from amongst you and you do not stop it, and you do not forbid it, Allah will send a calamity upon you, and you will raise your hands in dua to Allah Azza wa Jal, and He will not answer it. He will not answer your dua, because once an evil appears in front of you, you don't basically stop it. You don't care about it. And then you raise your hands to Allah Azza wa Jal, saying, Allah, a calamity has befallen us. Please Allah, remove this. Allah will not answer your dua, because you are not enjoining the good and forbidding evil, and it is part and parcel of the deen, and it is a consensus. Now it is such a wide topic, but inshallah to go into maybe some of the stories, or maybe inshallah some of the historical narrations that Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi did with oppressive ruler. There was an oppressive ruler known as Abu Ja'far Mansur at the time of Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi. And he was much like the oppressors of today, the likes of Gaddafi of Libya, the likes of Islam Karimov of Uzbekistan, who kills and tortures and murders Muslims who stand out and speak out against them. Similar to that, there was this man called Abu Ja'far Mansur, and he was very oppressive. He could, just at a click of his finger, he orders people's heads to be chopped off, decapitated. He would just kill anyone like this. And what happened once, he heard about the popularity of Abu Hanifah, this great faqih, Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi. So he summoned him to his court. He said to him, "Oh Abu Hanifah, I want you to be the judge of all judges. Whenever the qadis that are present amongst me, whenever they give a fatwa, I want you to give this seal on the fatwa. I want you to seal it for me, the final seal, so it goes out into the public." And Abu Hanifah, what was his response? What was this great Imam's response? What did he say? He said, "By Allah Azza wa Jal, I will never become your judge of judges." Why? Because I don't want to be a scholar for a dollar. Effectively. I don't want to be your, subhanAllah, I don't want to be your Tantabi of Egypt. Yeah, who gives a fatwa out protecting the policies of Hosni Mubarak. What kind of an armchair scholar is this? Subhanallah, who comes out there defending the oppressive policies of such a man like Hosni Mubarak. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi did not want to be this man. He did not want to be the likes of the ulama that we see today, who sit down saying that I cannot involve myself in politics. I cannot involve myself when it comes to issues to the ummah. Rather, Islam is somehow some sort of five-pillar sort of a religion, where there's nothing to do with politics. When Allah Azza wa Jalla mentions in the Quran, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. Very clear cut. Whoever does not rule by that which Allah has revealed, they are amongst the kafirin. This is Allah Azza wa Jalla accounting the Qudah, the people who are the judges, and is accounting the people who are in power. So anyway, Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi was summoned to the court, and he said, "I swear by Allah Azza wa Jalla, I will not be your judges of judges. I will not be your chief of whatever, I will not be your scholar for dollar, basically." So then what did Abu Ja'far Mansur do? He put Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi in prison. To the point where many historical narrations say, they say that Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi was lashed at least 100 times, 110 times, 10 times every single day. And there was an incident that happened to Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahimahullah also when he was under, I believe, Khalif Mamun. Maybe he was under Khalif Mamun at that time, and he was being lashed as well for not listening, for not obeying the corrupt ruler. And what did he do? When he was being lashed, he immediately thought of Abu Hanifah rahmatullahi alayhi, that he went through the same thing.